Okay, we've seen some basketball, did some antique shopping, and been to a museum. In other words, time to eat. So grab your coat. We're going out for ribs to a place in Indianapolis that takes this concept very seriously. Ah yes, ribs, barbecued ribs, dining at its most unpretentious. Put the fork and knives back in the drawer, resign yourself to the fact your shirt is now a bib. Tell Amy Vanderbilt, Miss Manners, and your dietitian, take a hike. Just get us some more napkins, you can hose us down when we're done. We got some serious, unapologetic eating to do here. And for serious, uncompromising rib connoisseurs, the rib emporium of choice in Indianapolis is Pa and Ma's. For 56 years, presiding in this sturdy little structure in a residential neighborhood in the 900 block of West 27th, reigning as the Duke and Duchess of Indy rib joints by keeping the cooking process simple and to the point.
We don't boil them, we just cook them with they charcoal cooked all the way. They're not cooked in the oven or boiled, anything of that nature.
Just meaty slabs of pork spare ribs and rib tips cooked and basted over charcoal on the rack of an open brick pit right as you come in, with its aromas wafting through the chimney into the neighborhood to lure the unsuspecting.
People like to come in and talk about how good they smell, and I just gotta have something. Once they taste it, they just keep coming back.
George and Phyllis Williamson are the current Pa and Ma. The original Pa and Ma were Anna Britt and her late husband Rodney, who opened their establishment in 1940. Shortly after Rodney's death, Anna sold the business to his cousin, Mary Lou Wilson, who kept it a thriving concern with her grandmotherly approach. As Mary got older, her neighbor across the street, George Williamson, started helping out. The Reverend George Williamson, pastor of the church he founded some 30 years ago. When Mary retired in 1983, Williamson and his daughter Joyce Rogers took it over. With Joyce now in law school, Phyllis Williamson took on more extensive duties as Ma, not fully embracing the concept as if there's not enough to do keeping a church running and a congregation happy.
Phyllis, you kind of rolled your eyes there when you got it. I take this was quite your idea at first.
Yeah, it wasn't, but it's no end, I'll tell you. Always work to do.
Fortunately, Phyllis is used to feeding the multitudes at church suppers and family reunions, and thus lays on such home-cooked specialties as meatloaf, fried chicken, pork chops, greens, and, yes, pig's feet, while letting her husband and their son George preside over the pit and the source of their culinary fame.
It's the way you cook them, and it's the sauce that you use.
Ah yes, the sauce. Notably Pa and Ma's renowned, some would say infamous, original hot sauce. For over 40 years, the only sauce they ever used, as concocted by Rodney Britt to separate the real rib eaters from the tofu chewers.
So what's in that thing?
Well, yeah, red pepper, butter, vinegar, salt, things of that nature, lemon juice.
In fact, one authoritative guide to the nation's premier barbecue outpost, Greg Johnson and Vince Staten's Real Barbecue, singled out Pa and Ma's sauce as the hottest and most memorable they sampled in their research, as the heat builds slowly with each gnaw and chew, causing diners to break out into a sweat at the midway point, pausing periodically to regain their composure. Williamson ultimately took compassion on his older customers whose constitutions started rebelling against such spicy additives and came up with two milder sauces that work just as well on the remarkably meaty and tender ribs, and marketing all 3 degrees in area supermarkets. All this has attracted celebrity notice, as several players from the NBA have made pit stops to Pa and Ma's, secure in the knowledge a rib fest at Pa and Ma's will be the highlight of their visit to Indianapolis. And there have been frequent sightings of major figures from the very pinnacles of government and sport, including one governor and one general.
What kind of sauces do you use?
Hot mostly.
Can you kind of see the effects of that when he's coaching? Or?
From the bar, he comes in. He like hot also.
Well, hot, mild, or sweet, Pa and Ma's hums along, feeding their customers' most basic dining needs. Free of guilt, free of trendy, free of hype.
No, we just want to be Pa and Ma. That speaks for itself.
For the record, Pa and Ma's is open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. through the week till 1 a.m. on weekends. Well, I hope you had enough to eat on this edition of the Reid Duffy Chronicles, and hope you'll not be too full to join us for the next edition. We'll keep you apprised. Thank you, and good night.